Press the button, my friend.
The Out of Bounds Show is live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge in the Bank Plus studio.
Check it out.
Well, I've stated several times this week that I'm rooting against the Alabama basketball team. They've got enough hardware in their football facility. So I'm rooting for the San Diego State Aztecs tomorrow, and then if Bama wins that, whoever they play after that. Although it's an easy road, that is for sure, after several of the higher seeds screwed up in the Bama bracket and then even go down to the Final Four with Purdue. So I don't really like the way this is trending. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I want to give a shout-out to Spring Street Cigars. They're now open in Meridian. You know about Spring Street Cigars in Starkville, Tupelo, Oxford, Kosciuszko, DeSoto County. And every single shop has a lounge where you can smoke a cigar there, which I think is great. They just opened in Meridian a couple of weeks ago, and I stopped by there last week, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place. So check it out if you're in that area. Spring Street Cigars in Meridian, and they'll continue to expand. Also Starkville, Oxford, Tupelo, Kosciuszko, DeSoto County. This is ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We bring in Roll Tide Ryan Fowler, 109 The Game, T-Town, afternoon drive. This man does 7.5 hours of sports talk radio a day. Doesn't even think twice about it. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Do you know that Alabama's in the Sweet 16 and playing tomorrow?
Hold on, just 1 minute. I got to finish this stretch real quick. Hold on, just 1 second, Bo. Hold on. Okay. I'm getting ready for Pro Day today. Got Alabama's Pro Day today, and
Pro Day.
I'm actually hoping. It's been a lifelong dream to suit up for my Dallas Cowboys at least just one play. So I'm hoping today that some of those scouts will look over in that beautiful media pool that we'll have right there and look and say, "Hey, man, that guy over there looks like he could play a little bit." I'm going to be ready if they call upon me. If they say, "Hey, are you ready to run your 40?" Absolutely. I think I can get it below 10 seconds. I ran a 9.06 8 years ago in the parking lot. 9.06. Got to put that in there. Under 10, and it was 41.5 yards because we didn't know how to measure over here in Tuscaloosa. But listen, if they call upon me, I will be ready I'm not going to try to show up Bryce Young and his pro day or anything like that.
I mean, do y'all have any legit NFL prospects for 2023?
Well, thanks to old Pete Golding, we actually have more talent than what we showed on the field. And I know Lane is very excited about Pete, and Pete's very excited about Lane, and Ole Miss fans are, excited that Pete's going to be going over there. But no, the talent is here. It was coaching last year. And I know that falls at Nick Saban, at his, doorstop. There's a lot of talent. And I think that's the part, if you really want to get into it, of the talent that you'll be missing. Because you start going through that secondary and you start going through that defense, there was 13 players at the NFL Combine, the most of any school, by the way, from the University of Alabama up in Indy. I think 9 of the 13 were defensive guys. So that tells you, Ole Miss fans, what you're so excited about. Stealing that defensive coordinator from the University of Alabama. 9 out of the 13 were on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, that Alabama defense was not ferocious. Far from it.
And they had studs. I mean, they had studs all over.
Can I ask you something? Is Pro Day overshadowing? Is Pro Day a bigger deal for Alabama Crimson Tide Nation than being in the Sweet 16?
Let me kind of explain this to you. All the media guys, the beat reporters, are in Louisville. The only football-only Gump. I might even have a one-on-one with Nick Saban today.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm not sure, other than some national media guys, how big that little media group will be today, because they're all covering basketball up in Kentucky. I mean, when Nick Saban looks at me and says, "Where's your friends?" I'm going to tell him they're covering basketball, Coach.
Did you consider going to Louisville?
Yeah, for about a nanosecond, and then I realized that I needed to save my money because football is going to be back in building for championships for the future. So, in order for me to save the budget, I mean, we don't have budgets like you guys have over in Jackson. We have to, you got to remember, you guys have been like lifelong savings accounts. Okay, we have bankrupt. Nick Saban, that's what he does when he comes to town. He bankrupts radio budgets that you have to travel all across the world, seeing this championship and that championship, losing a few on the way. But
yeah, I can't imagine if we go 3 years in a row without y'all in the national championship game.
Well, we've only won one in 5 years, and if we don't get back, listen, there is a chance here that. And I like Nate. Nate's an awesome guy. And what he's been at Tuscaloosa is realize a basketball program that was asystole, for those who are not in the medical field, flatline, cardiac monitor, where they says that there's no rhythm. They pronounce he's passed away at 8:35 in the morning. That's where Alabama basketball was at prior to Nate Oates' arrival. And he's come in and he's energized this program. He's been able to do it under the shadows of David, and he's got a group of fans that are just, listen, I knew we were in trouble. Well, some of this was because of Pete Golding's fault, but I knew in October when we started getting phone calls for Alabama basketball, I said, uh-oh, this is going to be dynamic. But now, like I said, some of that was on old Pete's fault. We Tennessee in October, and we broke records from 1907. They gave up the most points since 1907. So once that collapse happened up at Knoxville, thanks to old Pete.
Were you there?
No. I've made a couple of trips off my bucket list, and I don't ever want to put them back in the bucket. I don't go back to Lee County, and I don't go back to Knoxville. I'll go to Starkville. The people in Ole Miss, they love me. So I love going there.
They love you.
Yeah, they do. I told them their coach a few years ago was a snake oil salesman.
I know.
They didn't believe me at first, but now they
blinded by the light. Yeah, I know.
Now, I do like Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge is a fun trip. I've never been to College Station.
I haven't either.
It's just logistically, for you and I, I've either got to leave at 6 o'clock on Thursday p.m. or 6 o'clock p.m. on Friday. It's just hard to get to College Station. But
I'm not driving, so I'd have to fly through Houston, and then what do you do? Just jump on a little puddle jumper from Houston to College? Yeah. I'm not even sure.
We're going to have to get some of these boosters that these clients of ours that got these private planes carry us to College Station.
Well, you've been able to go on a private plane to the national championship games.
Yeah. I do. I've traveled with a few. But I mean, it's not like they give me the King recliner. Normally, I'm on that. There's a jump.
There's a jump. Absolutely. Yeah.
They're sitting on. Well, it's like a portable toilet. Normally, that's where I'm at. I'm on that little.
You'll take it though.
Seat. No. If it's a free ride, yeah.
Damn.
I'm a bum. Yeah.
I'll take it. Yeah. When somebody calls and they've got a plane, I'm like, I'm in. Oh
yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's get into. Go ahead.
We're a basketball school. We're a basketball school now, and I've been actually debating if we win a championship, because you do realize. I know you opened up this segment talking about. You don't want to see Alabama win another championship.
Correct.
And I know the world feels like that. But I'm already planning an area where if Nate Oates does something this weekend, Final Four. Alabama's never been to a Final Four in men's. They've been to it in women's in the early 90s. But when you look at
really
the men's side, yeah.
I knew you hadn't been in men's. I didn't realize you'd been in women's. Okay.
Yeah. But So if we do, I think we should build a statue and put it right up there beside Nick Saban.
Do they get along? Did Nick Saban and Nate Oates get along?
Great, yes. Don't believe the Clay Travises, Pat Forties, the Dan Wokens of the world. Okay,
Woken.
No. Don't believe those guys, man. They're just trying to stir the crap up. And I get it. It's popular to slam on Alabama. Nick Saban is so out of touch. He doesn't have Twitter. He doesn't have Facebook. He doesn't text message. He didn't know that those were sensitive words. He didn't know the wrong place, wrong time. Y'all give Nick a hard time. And I 71 years of age, I mean, he's not going to get everything right. Yeah, I mean, but, we may be passing the torch here. It's a very important year for Alabama football to get back on track. If not,
y'all have only won one title in 5 years.
Yeah, and really that was a COVID year, and I hope this doesn't make it back to Tuscaloosa because they get mad when I say this. Nick Saban had a great football team, but one of the things that he did in 2020 was outmanaged everybody. He outmanaged everybody on COVID. He did a much better job of managing COVID, really than Fauci did, I guess.
No doubt.
So when you look at inside his organization, it's he was able to win a championship with some great players, but 2020. So you count that, there's no doubt, but then you also back up and you say, because they were trending down at that point.
Right.
Think about it. I mean. And really that rebound. So one championship.
You won the title with Mac Jones.
We did, but there was some pretty talented players there. But you feel like that this is an important year to get back on track. But they've got to do it without all of this talent that has departed or will be departing to the NFL. I mean, life without Bryce Young, what's that going to be like?
Well, he's the best. He leaves Tuscaloosa as the most talented quarterback you've ever had without a championship as a starting quarterback, right? He was the backup behind Mac Jones his freshman year, correct?
He was. Yes, it was a true freshman then in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so he's leaving with never winning let that sink in. And if you couldn't do it with Bryce, life without him is going to be much, much harder. But they may rely on the strength of this team. The strength of this team is going to be in the backfield, and we'll see if Tommy Rees is going to bring that physical approach. But I did have a great moment yesterday when J.C. Latham said that we're going to get back to making people fear us. That's what he said during the media availability. And I thought about going up and high-fiving him when he said it. But he literally said he's to get back to smack people in the mouth.
Y'all were soft on defense last year. And really.
Well, you guys are going to be soft this year. Wait till y'all miss 9 tackles in one game. Call me back and tell me about how great old Pete's going to be.
Well, here, Ole Miss has a different schedule this year. It's going to be kind of a rude awakening. So last year they had a 7-game stretch that I'm not sure I've ever witnessed in the history of, well, definitely doing this show 20 years, but in a long time. It was a cakewalk. And, this year they got 3 pretty nice cupcakes, Mercer at Tulane, Georgia Tech at home. But then it's at Bama, LSU at home, and Arkansas at home. And so it gets real early for Ole Miss, whereas last year, they pulled Vandy and Kentucky and Auburn early and then didn't get the big boys until late. So we'll see what Golding can do. Is there, I can't believe I'm saying this, but with only one title in 5 years, is there a little bit, I know he's the GOAT,
yes.
But is there a little bit of Saban fatigue?
Oh, no, I thought you were about to say pressure. No.
Okay, all right, so pressure, let's go with that. You feel like it's kind of bubbling and bowling up here?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I think it's time to – because, see, you took a risk, and that risk didn't pay off. You went out. You thought it was good for recruiting. I went out and hired 2 former NFL head coaches, Bill O'Brien and Doug Marrone, and both didn't live up to maybe the expectations here. And then when you look at defensive side of the football, it's been slipping, I guess, since Jeremy Pruitt departed. And, you took a flyer on a guy from University of Texas, San Antonio. You brought him in. As long as you can keep him out of downtown pubs, that was, pretty solid. But, and so the defense kind of just drifted away.
Wow.
And so now – and see, the problem that hurts the most for Alabama fans is this, is that Georgia – see, because Nick Saban sold the fans that the new evolution of college football is here, right? You got to be able to, got to give up some on the defensive side of the ball to score more on the offensive side of the ball. And that was so far from the truth, because Georgia just went, no, you don't. No, you don't. And we'll do it here, and we'll show you. And I know deep down inside, when Nick Saban's head hits that pillow, he has to look at Kirby Smart and think about that they took his blueprint that he gave up. It's kind of like an invention. You're like, yeah, I'm going to sell that for $20. It's never going to make it. I'm going to let someone else do it. And they go out and win, billion-dollar patent or whatever. So that's where, Nick Saban has to look smart and go, man, he's taken my system and he's won back-to-back national titles. And if we're not able to put a roadblock in front of him, he's going to do something that's never been done in college football. And that's win 3 in a row.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, no, I mean, that's the blueprint, your 2011 blueprint, and he took it and he dropped it into Georgia, and y'all have lost your teeth and your physicality and your edge and your intimidation factor. I never thought that would happen.
And then we've got anxiety. Remember, that was a big theme word over here. We had anxiety.
Oh, I remember that.
So we traded physicality, smash mouth football for anxiety.
God, I wish y'all were playing Georgia in the regular season this year. It's just such a.
I would too. I'd love to then make the trip over here. We'd give them a warm welcome.
Or you play in Athens? I mean, And see
we usually Alabama plays.
Yeah, but that was Mark Richt. I mean, Richt, that's a different deal. I mean, Kirby went there for 1 year and bounced in 2005. I mean, he realized how soft that program was under Richt. Ryan Fowler. I mean, literally,
if you look at
the guy goes there and boom, leaves after 1 year as an assistant.
Well, and I think when Jeremy Pruitt went there in 2014, 2015, I think one of the things that he said, they were not taking winning serious.
Yeah.
So look at what Kirby Smart has been able to flip the script, and really look at his age. The only thing that you have to worry about if you're a Georgia fan is if he gets bored.
That's right.
And if he gets bored, but at his age,
he could win six more.
Will that stay? Well, now college football is going to get harder.
No, it's going to get easier for both you and Georgia with the college football playoff. So okay. Let me walk that back for a second. We're adding Oklahoma and Texas, but they're not powers. Okay.
Let me tell my trainer. I'll be back in just a minute.
Ryan
Fowler. Had to do another stretch. Yeah, I had to do another stretch.
Ryan Fowler, who ran a 9.06 41.5-yard dash a few years ago. 8 years ago. Joined. How old were you then?
Well, I'm 45 now.
Okay, 37. Got it. Ryan Fowler, Brady. 109 the game, Tuscaloosa on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Here's what's happening.
You were talking about Kirby winning 6.
Yeah, I mean, he's 47 years old. I mean, my gosh, if he coaches another 15 years, what could this look like? Or much less longer. But what's going to happen is with the 12-team playoff, y'all can see Bama's in last year. And you were still good enough because Bryce was that good. I mean, you lost, as much as I love picking at you and your buddy, y'all were a whisker away. I mean, you lost on the road in the last play of the game to a Tennessee team that was red hot and playing out of their mind, and to an LSU team that got up and considered y'all the Super Bowl of their season. And I mean, that's what y'all bring to the table. So if we had a 12-team playoff year, y'all are in, and you could have been playing Georgia in the national championship game. And, hey, just the week before, Ohio State had given Georgia all they wanted. So it's not like you couldn't have won that game. It damn sure wouldn't have been 65-0 or 6 or whatever it was against TCU. So, no, look, Fowler, even if we go to 9 games conference, this college football playoff, you're just about assured, even if you don't go undefeated, you're in. Georgia's in. And then I think with Brian Kelly, LSU's in, especially once we do away with divisions, and Ohio State's in. So, yeah, you're good to go, man.
We are putting other conferences out of business.
I know.
I mean, they always brag, well, we got basketball, and then, look at the SEC. We may go win the darn thing out in Houston. I don't know what they'll say then. I mean, I don't know if the world can handle Alabama winning a national
I
title.
can't. I may leave for a month.
Are
Just
you
let
going
Blake
to get
have
me
it.
back on
No.
that morning after?
No.
Yeah, you only call me when we lose. Because if Alabama
That's
loses,
true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect a phone call. I'll be getting hey, can you get –
Go, I hope y'all get your heart ripped out sometime, like a buzzer beater. Like you're up 69, 68,
hold on,
and then somebody hits a 3 from 26 feet, and you lose 71 to 69.
I thought we were all in this thing together. Nate Oates said Thursday after the game that we should pull for Auburn in the SEC. That didn't go over very well with my audience. So I thought we were pulling. So we're not feeling any love for the Magnolia State that you guys are going to be rooting for the Tide?
No.
I mean, no. SEC, no?
I think you're in, unfortunately, because everybody's been losing. Well, you're really good, one. And everybody's been losing around you. And so I think you're in Houston next weekend, which will be interesting to see if you go.
Oh.
But if you're in, I do hope that you get your heart ripped out on some kind of buzzer beater.
We're working on our Tide 100.9 claim. We've changed the spark plugs. We're having to do one every other week with our paycheck. But we're going to get this thing warmed up, and we're going to bum a ride to Houston. Wouldn't that be awesome, me sitting there on the front row of the media with the Pat 40s and the Dan Wilkins?
That'd be awesome.
Clay Travis, fake conservative Clay Travis. Used to be a liberal. Now he's a conservative.
I know. He's got everybody fooled. He voted for Al Gore, Obama twice, and John Kerry.
He's a fraud.
Hey, be good, buddy. I hope.
Wrong Tide.
Go to hell, Alabama, and we'll talk next week. See you, dude. Thanks for listening to the Out of Bounds Show on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Brought to you by Dr. Kirk Jeffries, Eye Care Professionals. If you need cataract surgery, you want to go to Eye Care Professionals and Dr. Kirk Jeffries. Enjoy game day. Brought to you by Boar's Head. We'll see you tomorrow.